Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. It's a video I never thought I'd actually be doing, but I think it's come to the point where I'm going to do this video and I'm just going to put it out there. Mainly because I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed with this machine right here. And it's not so much the machine. I mean, the machine is good, but it has a few problems, sure. But it's the way the machine is set up. The way the machine is set up to operate, and the way that there's ongoing costs, and the way that it's locked down to particular regions, and there is a few other features, just the way it operates, which really gives me the shits. As a professional locksmith, had I have known these problems with this machine, I wouldn't have put the money into it. I really wouldn't have, and I'm upset. I'm upset because, as many people know, I do a lot of videos and I talk about different Silca machines. I mean, here's another one. I love my Silca machines, okay, I really do. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to look to other companies. And one of the other companies I'm going to be looking at very shortly is the HBC again. Mainly because with their electronic code machine, it never let me down. I loved it. And now I'm talking about the HBC Shark. Now I use my code machine and I cut a key when I need it. I cut the code, I change combination and I do it to code, and I'm really happy with it. But with this machine here, it's really messed up my flow. It's taken more time than it's necessary, and I'm in the position now where, I've spent a lot of money on it and I'm tired of looking at the damn thing. I really am tired of looking at the damn thing. So, if somebody wants to buy my brand new Future Pro, let me know in the comments down below, because what I want to change to is I want to change to the HBC Code Shark 2. And although it's not out yet, I'm annoyed that I've invested in this because of, it's a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you I'm honest. I'll tell you what shits me about this machine, and if you still want it, then all the more power to you. It'll be for sale, but at this stage now, I'm just not happy with it as my go-to machine all the time. Now I've just turned this on. It's gotten to the stage now where my tablet has been dead so many times and it's cost me time. So what I've done is I've actually hardwired it in, and I'm starting to charge it like when I drive. So it remains on all the time, and when I go to drive, it'll just start charging and things like that. Because when I turn it on as a standalone machine, it's always flat. Absolutely always flat. 5-10 minutes, charge it up, start it up, it's always flat. So I'm just going to power it up now. It should have some power in it. I mean, this is left on all the time now, and I power it when I drive. So that seems to be the only way to, get it to work. So I'm just going to select Silca. Okay, so one of the things that really annoy me is that I have to use this damn tablet. Okay, and the power situation is annoying, but I have worked around that. So that's not the biggest issue. Some of the other issues I find with it is that, not with the cutting. I found the cutting to be really, really good. It cuts a perfect key, not a problem. The other things that annoy me is that sometimes I get a key which is not there. And as you can see from my HBC here, if I get something that's not there, I'll just print up a card. There's a card from Instacode, put on a bit of cardboard, cut it out. I now can cut that key for whenever I need. For this particular machine here, you have to tell your Silca rep. They'll then add it to the database, and on your next upload or download, you'll get that on your machine. Should it have been an issue that's been brought up to your Silca rep or your Silca distributor, then you'll get that on your machine. And you will have to pay for your updates. That's something I'm not a fan of. With a machine like this, okay, you're talking 10,000 US, 20,000 Australian, and you got to pay for all your updates. I mean, come on, really, I don't feel that's fair. The next thing is too, I bought this machine. I'm going to be honest about this. I bought this off somebody in the US. Somebody purchased it. I bought it straight off them. I bought it brand new off them. Not the Silca distributor, but somebody who would buy it and then resend it to me. Reason being, this machine at $20,000 Australian, I could not afford. Okay, I just do not have enough money and to put aside to say, oh, it's brilliantly fabulous and it's going to make me plenty of money. It's not going to make me any more money than I'm making today, tomorrow, the next day. Okay, because I've got other machines, they cost me a shitload less and they make me just as much money. They don't look as pretty. So I went out and I invested in the Future and I bought this machine. And Future, and it's called the Futura. Anyway, I bought this machine and the idea was it's going to be the machine that will get me through the next 10 years. But as you see right now, we're still loading. I mean, I've turned it on and we're still loading. It's got issues. It's got issues. And I've contacted the people who originally sold this machine and said, hey, look, I've ended up with one of your machines. I would like to purchase CodeMaker and I would like to, you know, just do some very simple cards, just like these ones here, you know, which are interesting to me. I do them all the time. I would like to purchase these and, sorry, I'd like to purchase that program, which is an add-on to this. It's like $1,000 or something, right? $1,000 for a little tiny piece of software. Okay, I'm starting to get mad here because I have to purchase that and that's another $1,000. Okay, let's just say that that's not an issue. I just pay that money so then I can make any card that I want, single or double-sided keys, or perhaps even laser keys. I'm not sure if it does that. And I can make those keys in the future. Great, that'd be great. So I send them an email saying, look, I've got one of your machines that you sold, you're the distributor, can I purchase that? And they said, no, we'll have to get back to you. It's been 20 days. They haven't gotten back to me. They're not interested at all. Okay, at selling me this $1,000 program so I can add this to this machine and then do the cards, which it doesn't actually have, which I'm very disappointed at. Also, when I called Instacode is the be-all and end-all of Locksmith software. I say, look, you know, I've paid a lot of money for your software. I get my regular, you know, updates. What is it, 2 or 3 a year, a couple of $100 per year. My Silca Futura Pro will not talk to that. And they said, no, that's the way they want it to be. So you can't just search a code and blow it down to this machine. It's not going to work. Even now, right, I've just turned it on and it's not linking. You know, there's another issue. I'm not going to, you know, get into all the issues, and you can leave them down in the comments description below. But another issue that kind of shits me is that the person who sold it also said that you shouldn't have it in that country and Silca can turn it off. So if I'm looking at a resale value on this particular product, they can turn it off. That's so frustrating. You buy a product like I bought this one here, right? If I buy this and I send this to Italy, Germany, or whichever company, they're buying this rock solid machine and they can use it and they can do what they need to do with it. Not when you go electronic. When you go electronic, they can pull that ball back on you and you can be left with a dead machine. That is ridiculous. And it's ridiculous whether you purchase it first or second or third. The machine should hold its value. And if you can't purchase accessories for it, it's not holding its value. It's only good when you purchase it originally and register it to you. Now that's something that annoys me because I love Silca. You watch my other videos, I love Silca. How much do you love Silca? Well, all of my cupboards are filled with Silca. I make Silca videos. I purchase expensive Silca machines. I use them every day. And have a look at this. This machine is what's going to break the camel's back. And I'm telling you that now. Good machine, and the policies that they've put in place for dealer resales and bringing back people back to them so they can maximize their profits is what's just going to annoy customers like me. And I've reached out to Silca, no response. I've reached out to the people who originally sold the machine, no response. I've reached out to my local dealer and I did get a response, and I said, look, I've got this machine, bought it secondhand, almost brand new. I need some accessories for it. First thing I want is the code program so I can write my own codes for particular cards, so I can do that. And they said, okay, we'll look into that. They came back to me and they said, look, we can't sell it to you because it's not going to work with your machine. And I thought, you know what, fair enough, because they will sell me a new cutter, a new cradle, a new whatever I need for it. But they can't sell me that because when the machine goes online to download it, it has to come from a particular region and all that sort of stuff. That's cool. Okay. So I thought, fair enough with my local Silca dealer. I'm fairly happy with them. As far as the international Silca dealer, I haven't heard back from them. I've emailed them a few times, and they're a bit peeved that it's gone overseas. Okay, I understand that, but they were paid, Silca was paid, everybody was paid, okay, and I'm left with a machine that, you know, I can't get it. So now I've got to call Silca. And even now, what is happening with this machine? I'm going to power this off. I'm going to come up here and I scoot it across. I mean, this never happened with my HPC Shark, and I'm not happy with the speed of this. I really am not. You know, I love Silca. This machine I use all the time. How much do I love Silca? Well, just have a look at my drawers, right? Silca. You know, just this packaging alone, just this one here with all these key blanks was over $1,000. $1,000 just in my hand, you know, easily. And we'll put that back there, right? Next drawer. Oh, Silca again, $2,000 more, right? Let's look at house keys. Silca everywhere, right? I mean, I love Silca, but this machine gives me the absolute shits. Not only can I not, you know, get updates, I've got to pay for them, and it's in a different region, so they have the privilege of turning my machine off and turning it into a paperweight. Okay, not only that, they're not going to sell me code source. You know, I've gone back through the original permit, they're not going to sell me that, so I can't even update it. So now I'm going back 30 years after a big investment. I'm going back to my HPC. I mean, you can't mess me with my HPC. And just for this video, I want to show you my custom cradle. This bit of white plastic right here with my shavings drawer underneath. See the way that works? See how cool that looks? So all the shavings just go straight down in there rather than all over your bench, and it's collected in a tray there. That was custom made, and it looks pretty sexy. Okay, now I'm going back to my HPC. If there's something I need, I'm just going to print it up on this. You know, I've got a program which I can actually use, create a card. Cost me about $100 from the US. If not, I can print it off code source, Instacode, and if not, I can just plot it myself using manual space and depth cards, which look like this. Right, so I'm on a job, I can do it. I can look at Instacode and I can just do it. Right, my old machine, 60 years old, it's not 60, but it's a 60-year-old design, is more reliable and quicker than this. It still hasn't loaded. I don't know what is going on with it. I haven't updated it, and it will work eventually. I've just got to boot it down, boot it back up again. But I'm wondering what is going on. I mean, all these people, all these companies are trying to stitch you up, get as much money out of you as they can, bit by bit by bit. And you've got to remember, a big investment like this, you need to recoup your money. And it's just not happening. You know, not only is for the mobile locksmith, it's taking too much time. For the, you know, for the cradles, here we go. One of these cradles, brilliant design. One of these ones, if I want to do engraving, I had $1,000. Just to write a little name on a key, $1,000. A new cutter, $200. New one here, $300. Everything is expensive, and I appreciate the quality, so I can understand that it's expensive. And for a professional key cutter, I'm okay with that. But you know, sometimes you do buy a machine second hand or third hand, and if you're not getting any return on that, or if you can't resell it, it really defeats the purpose of the product. You think to yourself, it's only good through the one person. So that is my little video on how my Silca Futura has given me the shits this week. And I really wish it wasn't a video that I was putting out there, because if you see my other videos, I love my Silca. You know, I love it. But now they've gone electronic like this, I can't see it a worthwhile investment. And that's pretty sad, and I'm looking towards the HPC Code Shark 2. So if you know, if I get a good offer on this one, and if it all works out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase the HPC Code Shark 2 when it comes on the market, and I'm going to give it a real good test and a real good review. And it's not something I wanted to be doing, but it's something that I feel I should for the future and longevity of my business and professionalism and time and things like that. So yeah, leave your comments down below. This machine does work, by the way. I don't know why it hasn't bloody booted up today. but I'll get it working in the next 10-15 minutes. But yeah, if you've got similar issues or comments about this, I want to put a call out to all the hackers out there. Now, this machine here has the app in the actual app. The app only has the app, which is more like, how do you say, front end. The machine stores the database and things like that. I want to find the file, because I can load a file onto this in XML, which is, I think, a Excel format program. I can load that file in this, and then it will have a new DSD, which is space, depth, and data. So I want to see if somebody out there has a file, because once I see that file, I can then work out what I need for my cards, like these ones, and then introduce that into the database. Also, I searched one code source the other day. It said, yes, there it is. And then I went to use it and it said 500 internal error. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm just saying that it's probably a good time, since so many of these are out there and so many people have spent so much money, that if somebody does have that file, let me know, send it over. I'll do a video on it and show you how to introduce cards to this machine. Because if you can't introduce cards, everybody's going to be spending $1,000 each time, and I think that is just exploiting your own customers, and that's what I'm really not happy with. Not only is that exploitive, they won't even sell me the damn thing at this stage. So I'll keep you updated. And this machine, look, it's pretty, but nothing pretty doesn't come at a high cost, you know, high maintenance. So yeah, there it is there, Silca Futura, and it's out of 10 at the moment. I can't even rate it. I mean, it does a brilliant key when it works. When you've got it all going and all the rest, don't get me wrong, it does what it needs to do, and it does it reasonably quick. But the booting program, the software program, the updates and things like that, you're not really paying that money for good product. Like Instacode, I pay $200-300 for an update, but I know I'm getting good codes added to the database, and the information is rock solid, so I'm happy paying $600 a year for that. But I'm just paying for them to add codes to this, which really should be there because the initial buy price is so much anyway. I can go up to my old Unicode, 20-year-old Unicode electronic key machine, and give it a you know, all the cards I want. All the cards are all in there. And now if they're not in there, I can blow it from Instacode just using a USB cable. This one I can't. They've locked it down, so you can't even add. You can't even add anything to it. So I'm calling to all the hackers out there. It's an XML file. You'll find it under settings. I can't show you now because for some reason this thing is not working. I hope they haven't already turned me off. I mean, how's that? You know, but I hope they haven't. And I've turned off location and all that sort of rubbish. But yeah, if you do know how to do the XML spreadsheet, and if you do have one of those files, or if you do have CodeMaker on a machine, you can create just a card, and if you could email it to me, I'd be much appreciated, because I'm going to see if I can add cards to this. And if I can add cards to it and find out how it's done, I'll show other people on how it's done too. Because I think if you've got a machine like this, you should be able to do your own DSD, just like, you know, the HPC Shark. And I'm going to be talking with HPC and seeing how their new machine's going to be acting with that, and whether or not there's updates. And I really do want to buy a HPC Shark 2, and I want to compare them. I really want to compare them, because I think we've all jumped the gun on the first release of this machine. The first release was not the Silca Futura without the Pro, and then the Pro was better, and then they brought out the one which is white. And I think we've all jumped the gun a bit, because if the HPC is better, well, geez, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to get the HPC hands down. So the HPC has been slow in releasing it into the market, but generally speaking, they've got exactly the same thing. You've got cradles. It even does Medico, which is a big difference. This one doesn't do Medico. And one of the questions HPC was asking is, how does Medico, you know, how good is Medico for you and your business? For me, it's not. I want single, double-sided, 2-code, 4-way clamp. I want my my wave, high security keys, dimple, and I want tubular. I mean, I really would love an adapter for Abloy Dislock Pro too, but you know, that's just asking a bit much. So anyway, there's my rant for today. Please, if you can help me out with that file, leave it down below, and I'll keep you posted on when I get that program to see if I can do my own space and depth cards. Thanks for watching.